fine them if they can't read? Yeah. I'm sure this could go on all afternoon, and I would love for it to, but I'd also like to have a quick report out and make sure that we have time for some of the best ideas. So take just a minute and decide if you have something that you would really like to share with the group, and then we'll do a report out. All right, this table here, I've seen a lot of animated discussion, so I'm hoping that you can give us something real quick here that you're excited about.
Oh, it's me, huh?
So you'll have to get everybody's attention. You have my mic now.
Hello. Good afternoon. All right, so talking about what do we do for improving reading and math. I've always contended, I'm from Doña Community College in Las Cruces, New Mexico State. I've always contended that what the high schools sometimes teach in math and English and reading is not what we test for at the college level. There's a huge disconnect. So for the colleges and community colleges to point a finger at high schools and saying you're not doing your job, that's not the question. That's not what we should be saying. We should be saying, well, how come they test well in high school in math and English and they're up there, and then they get to college and they test real low? I think it's a disconnect. I think as we partner with CTE programs and career pathways and whatnot, we need to look at that issue and see how we can align those competencies so that when they're done with high school, they're competent in math. You're saying they're competent, and then when they come to the community college or the university, we're testing for the same thing, and then we've got that competency connection, and we eliminate a lot of developmental remediation that needs to be done. That's one intervention. The second thing I think we need to look at the community college level is how can we shorten the developmental cycle for the student? It should be no longer than a semester. So what can we do to do that? At Doña Community College, and I know all the community colleges have many interventions, and we've all looked at this because I've had numerous conversations. We'll fast-track students and do 2 developmental classes in one semester in math. So they'll do an 8-week mini with one math and then an 8-week mini with the second developmental math. So they're doing two in one semester. We also have an intervention where we have students that are just barely on the edge of from one development, the lower to the higher, and so we'll give them a 1 or 2 week refresher course, non-credit, and then retest them, and 99% of them will test into the higher developmental, so we just cut out another developmental from them. The third thing we just started is what we call a math emporium, where we'll actually crunch 3 developmental math courses into one semester, and then they're done with their math. So there's some examples.
Great, thank you. Some good stuff there, especially I think alignment is so important and really is a key part. Hopefully you've heard this theme by now, right? We've been trying to harp on it a little bit in the workshop here, is really building those relationships and having the dialogue. I think it's very important. I saw a lot of conversation over here too. Who wants to take the mic? Looked like you had a voice.
No, I don't have a voice back there. Go ahead.
Will you share with us what you guys were talking about?
Well, looking at the what we're implementing in our school right now, we really need more tutoring and guidance to raise levels and to target specific kids more. So I think, was that? Did you have something else?
If I give her the mic, she'll never give it back to me.
No, we talked about what we discussed yesterday, opportunities that avail itself to tutoring for ELL students. And the question was asked how would you do it? And I said, in our program of studies, we have a math teacher that is part of the team of each one of our program of studies, and so that math teacher working with those Korea Tech teachers would then, and they have the same kids that's in that math teacher's class as well as in those other classes, would then do the tutoring after school. And then the question was asked, well, how would you get those, since those kids are at-risk kids mostly, how would you get them home? And I said, well, the city of Albuquerque and the mayor would then have to give me the bus passes. Some of you may not have that availability to you, but that's one of the options.
Would you guys want to?
We talked about how as an example in math is a student gets to a certain point and they freeze on a problem. If it's a 10-step problem, they get to problem this fourth step and they freeze because they don't know the very basic of what they're trying to do. And we were talking about the need to make sure that the very basic principles are needed, and like you were saying, quick reviews of things and help them get to a point where, okay, I know the basics, then I can fight through the next 6 steps, but I can't just shut down at step 4. And that was our big thought.
How about on the other side of the room? Is there a table that would love to kind of share what you all were thinking about? Hi.
And it's not necessarily something that we talked about even here at the table, but I know at the school that we're at, we actually stole an idea from the school in Florida that we call our Eagle Success Period there at Berlin High School. And what we've done is we've gone to a one hour long lunch. And what we're trying to do in an hour-long lunch is capture our kids. We have a lot of kids that ride the bus, a lot of kids involved in athletics activities that we're not able to capture after school or during the day. And we're using all our teachers have half-hour office hours during that time. We're utilizing that time for EOC study, SBA study, remediation. We're doing things during that time to try to keep kids from being pulled out of class. I know we're in our CTE department, whatever, we're opening up labs, we're opening opportunities for students to go in and continue to work on, projects and things that they would not be able to do after school. But truly it's a focus, it's a student-centered type focus in which, we hope to, because I said, with a lot of schools, we're not performing anywhere the level that we need to with our math and our reading and so forth. And we're hoping that this is an opportunity in which we kind of have a captive audience. We closed our campus. Nobody leaves during lunch any longer. Seniors have to stay. We found that they were a group that after Christmas kind of struggled to get through to graduation. So we're truly using it as an opportunity for additional tutoring, additional opportunity, additional contact with our teachers. And, hopefully at the end of the year we'll have positive data that shows that. But it's just another way that we're trying to reach out and kind of facilitate the students' needs.
That's great, and it solves part of Cheryl's problem with the bus too, right? Instead of trying to have tutoring after school, building it into the system so that you're getting the kids right there. One more group that would like to share out. Somebody over here. I'm going to pick on somebody. I'm coming that way. How about you?